Nobody feared Noah. Teachers called him sweet. Classmates called him quiet. People interrupted him constantly because they knew he wouldn't do anything about it. He was the kind of person life walks over, and for years, he accepted it. Until one humiliating moment changed him forever, because sometimes the calmest people become the most dangerous. Once they stopped tolerating disrespect, Noah spent most of his life avoiding conflict. Not because he was peaceful, because he was afraid of judgment, afraid of confrontation, afraid people wouldn't like him. So he stayed quiet, always. If someone insulted him, he laughed it off. If people used him, he stayed available. If he got treated badly, he blamed himself. That's what happens when someone has low self-worth. They start believing disrespect is normal. And Noah became an expert at shrinking himself for other people's comfort. One afternoon during college, Noah sat with a group of classmates working on a project, or at least pretending to, because while everyone joked around, they slowly started making him the target. Little comments at first. Bro has zero confidence. He looks scared 24/7. Honestly, Noah would apologize to a robber. Everyone laughed, including Noah. But inside, something burned. Then one guy grabbed Noah's notebook and tossed it across the room like a joke. People laughed harder. And Noah did nothing. He walked over quietly, picked it up, sat back down, and forced a smile. But in that exact moment, he hated himself. Not them. Himself. Because deep down he knew. People treated him this way because he allowed it. That night, Noah walked home alone in silence. No music, no distractions, just thoughts. Painful thoughts. Every memory of disrespect replayed in his head like torture. The times people ignored him, used him, talked over him. And suddenly he realized something terrifying. His entire personality was built around avoiding discomfort. That realization shattered him, because avoiding discomfort also meant avoiding growth, avoiding confidence, avoiding leadership, avoiding becoming someone powerful, and right there under dim streetlights, Noah made a decision. The weak version of him had to die. The next morning, Noah started changing immediately. Not loudly, silently. He started training harder physically, learning discipline, learning confidence, learning how to say no. At first it felt unnatural. His hands literally shook during confrontation. Even simple things terrified him. Returning wrong food orders, speaking confidently, making eye contact. That's how broken his confidence had become. But every uncomfortable action slowly rebuilt him. That's the secret most people miss. Confidence isn't born, it's trained. Months passed, and Noah became colder, not cruel, controlled. He stopped over-explaining himself, stopped begging for approval, stopped tolerating disrespect disguised as jokes. And weirdly, people started respecting him more. That's the brutal truth about human nature. People often test the boundaries of those who never set any. But Noah finally had boundaries, and boundaries change everything. 6 months later, Noah ran into the same group from college again. This time the energy felt different immediately. Noah walked calmly, spoke clearly, looked people directly in the eyes. Nobody interrupted him anymore. Nobody mocked him. Because weakness invites disrespect. Presence discourages it. Then one guy jokingly tried making fun of him again. Old Noah would have laughed nervously. New Noah looked him dead in the eyes and said, "Try that again." Silence. The entire room changed instantly. And for the first time in his life, Noah realized what real confidence felt like. Not loudness, not arrogance, control. Later that night, Noah sat alone thinking about everything that changed. And he understood something important. Becoming ruthless didn't mean becoming evil. It meant finally respecting himself enough to stop accepting weakness, stop accepting disrespect, stop accepting excuses, stop accepting less than he deserved. That's what transformed him. Not anger, standards. There are millions of people living exactly like old Noah right now. Quiet, afraid, desperate to be liked. and slowly, the world teaches them they can be ignored safely. But the moment you develop self-respect, everything changes. Your posture changes. Your energy changes. Your standards change. And suddenly, people treat you differently. Not because you became cruel, because you stopped acting weak. And maybe that's the lesson here. You don't need to become louder to become powerful. You just need to stop abandoning yourself every time the world tests you.